Pedro from A&P-Reacts. I'm here today with Alex of Rhapsody of Fire to talk about I'll Be Your Hero, their latest EP to hit the airwaves. How's it going?
Going great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
My absolute pleasure. Let's start with from the beginning, which is always the best way to start a conversation. Is from the
Which
starting point. Eh,
which beginning?
and that is, what was the spark that led to the creation of this EP?
Well, actually, the idea was to release a single first of all, but since many months, we had a few tracks that I wanted to use, and specifically we had two live tracks we recorded in Milano in 2019. We also had the ballad from the Eighth Mountain, the previous album, which we recorded in four languages, and these songs were still sitting there. So we were talking about to release something special, and we decided to take the opportunity to release this single and to make it, you know, to extend it and make it an EP, which is almost 40 minutes long. And on Plus, we have this bonus track, War Dragon's Fly, that was previously released just in Japan
Hmm.
on Legendary Years. The album we did, the first album we did with Giacomo, with the recordings. So I think it's pretty interesting
Yeah,
single.
there's a lot of diversity on this EP, like you mentioned. A new single, a bonus track from Japan that now everybody else gets to enjoy. Two live
Yeah.
tracks, four versions of the sing song, if you will. So there's a lot of diversity. Do you feel like this was a more complete piece of work to offer to the fans versus just releasing one song, one single? Even though the song is absolutely magnificent. I mean, I would have been thrilled just with "I'll Be Your Hero."
Yeah, well, we are known for offering to the fans as much as we can. So if I would have more songs, I would have put them in as well. So this is really what we have available at the moment. So it's a pleasure to share with the fans everything we have. So the diversity, as you mentioned, is a key which is really important, I think.
What do you get out of an EP that perhaps you don't get out of a full-length album? I know you perhaps have a little bit more freedom, like you had with this one, but is there something that you enjoy about doing an eclectic compilation, if you will, in an EP format that perhaps you can't really do in a full-length album?
Well, in terms of freedom, I must say I'm very lucky. I don't have a restriction of any kind. FM Records trust the band 100%. So, what I really enjoyed for this EP is the fact that the cover artwork, for example, in my opinion, looks fantastic. And when I asked my guy Alex Charlotte, which is responsible for the latest covers of Rhapsody of Fire, he told me, yeah, I can do it. I can do something quick, something nice. But underline it just is like not so important. At the end, it's fantastic. I mean, it's really incredible, and so it adds value to the product, and this is for us. It's very important to offer the fans music and also some very nice graphic aspect attached to it.
Listening to "I'll Be Your Hero," the first thing that came to my mind is how do you guys go from the idea to the epic proportions of the final product of a song that becomes larger than life itself?
Well, it all depends. For many songs, I like to have input from Robbie De Michele, a guitar player, and he delivers to me many guitar riffs and parts that he does and collects through the years, and when I listen these pieces, many times I get really inspired from, and or this is a most common way, starting from the riff, because it's important for me to keep it real, to keep it meta. And sometimes I start just from from another idea. It can be anything. It could be any instrument. It could be anything. And I like to mention this this version of I'll Be Your Hero. It's a single edit, if we can say. On the album will be like more than a minute longer, so it will have an introduction with more guitar riffs, etc. It will be a bit different. So for this version of the for the single, we I had fun to make the intro with the choirs from Giacomo. You know, it has a different, more catchy approach, but still, it's really what I like. It's the sound I like. You know, it's when you highlight some instruments, when you can really listen, hear very well an instrument like such as the choir, for example. For me, it's a plus.
It's really interesting because you created a song that has this big wall of sound. It has this big volume, like I said, very cinematic. But at the same time, you could really break it apart and pay attention to all the different elements that it went into
Yes.
creating this song. It's not like everything is kind of like muffled together and it just sounds big and whatever. But you could appreciate the greatness of the song, but then also appreciate all the little pieces that went into making that bigger puzzle. Is that something that's important
Yes.
to you?
Well, this is everything. This is very relevant. And we started working with Sebastian Leverman from Modern Organ a few years ago, and I was very happy with the job he did for the Eight Mountains. And when I heard the first mixes of the new album, I was completely blown away. I was shocked because I was expecting something more or less like the quality, the mix quality of the Eight Mountain, the sound and everything. But it really, mixing wise, sound wise, he raised the bar a lot. So it's uh, it's incredible that we have the in the mix we have a very strong energy, uh, very high definition, clarity, still without losing the power. It's probably is one of the best mixes I ever heard, at least for Rhapsody Fire for sure.
You just piqued my interest. You're talking about a new record. So when can fans expect something more from you guys from that new record?
Yeah, of course, I'll Be Your Hero. It's a single, which is, of course, must trigger the interest.
It's an appetizer.
It's an appetizer, yes. And later this year, the album will be released. Soon we will be releasing more details about it. The album is done, is mixed, delivered to FM Records. My
So
job for this time is the
so now you guys are just like itching for that time when it's ready to be released
yes.
to the
It will
fans.
take some time, huh? But yeah, that was also the purpose of releasing this EP, you know, to make people excited and make them, you know, interested in what is coming up in the next month.
Does this single give the fans a little bit of a glimpse, a window into what the rest of the album will feel or sound like?
Yeah, in a way, yes. Why not? Uh, there are many different songs, and I don't want to get into details right now, but we have different songs. We have different sounds, lot of soloists. We have original instruments, and we always do. And I'm very proud of this recording because we had the chance to record two different type of choir, one more rock metal oriented, one more operistic, as in the best tradition of Rhapsody of Fire. And we have Celtic harp, we have a variety of flutes, we have William pipes. So there is a lot of nice sounds here and there that makes the album sounds. You know, when you use the real instruments, that's the result you obtain. You know, it's sticks out immediately. You know, so yeah, Be Your Hero is just, you know,
Just a taste.
1%. Yeah, just a thing.
Going back into the EP, the wind, the rain, and the moon. What was the idea, or what drove the idea of having this song in different languages? Because while the format, while the skeleton of the track is the same, it almost feels like
Yeah.
you're listening to four different songs.
Yes, this is thanks to the vocals and to the different approach you have for different languages. And of course, we always started to create to record the English version. Actually, if I recall well, we started with the Italian for this one. And at the end, it's for an Italian singer, it's very easy to obtain the most brilliant result with the Italian version, of course. And I must say, this is also kind of, I mean, I expect that in a way, you know. So if you are not a native French language speaking or Spanish or English, but you are Italian, of course, the Italian delivers a very special sound. And well, also it depends on the lyrics because it's not really a merely a translation. It's really an adaptation.
Mhm.
It's a language as an adaptation. So we always try to make it sound good. And
Yeah, because
it's
even the titles
curious
of
what
the
you
song.
say because it's cool. Sorry, it's curious what you say because it's really you have the impression of listening something different.
Yeah, no, because even the titles, I was going to say, the titles of the songs are different. The
Yeah,
translation, the meaning behind them are different. It's not like it's the wind, the rain, and the moon. All four versions, they have different titles to it.
yeah. This is more the job. This is more the task that Giacomo had to do. You know, adapting, and of course we had help from friends that speak the language. So it's it's uh, it's nice because at some point you are in the studio and now it's the tradition. We did the same with the upcoming new album. We have a song which is in three different languages. Other than doing also since the Eighth Mountain, we are doing a bonus track for Japan. And Giacomo sings in Japanese.
Oh wow!
With, yeah, with this is just for the Japanese market, but you know it's
I mean,
also this is becoming a tradition.
that's very impressive. And speaking of impressive, I was really impressed with the two live tracks because I felt like the sound, the recording was incredible. It really captured the band, but the quality of the sound was outstanding. Are these the only two songs you guys recorded during that tour?
No, we recorded more. We recorded much more, and actually not even that professionally, I must say. It's just that nowadays it's really some you get some mixers. You just plug a USB cable and you record everything separate. It's very easy now, you know. So we have a very good front of house, a very good engineer. So the sound we have on stage and for the audience is really good, and the same sound went into the track. So what you hear is really the sound that people could hear. I was impressed as well because I had many different shows we recorded where it was possible, where it made sense, and from this show from Milano, yes, the entire show is like that, you know. So we just pick up two songs, you know. So,
So you still have
but
some stuff
sometimes
in
you
your
get sometimes you get lucky. If for these shows that we played in Milan, the sound. Technically speaking, the sound is really good. The sound of the voice is good. The sound of the drums was great, and there were maybe less mistakes or whatever. There's a different aura, and so you immediately feel, oh my God, this is really something, you know. Even when you're listening raw, like directly as it were recorded, it sounds really good. Of course, Seb mixed this two songs as well, so with a little bit of tweaking,
so
the result is what it is.
do you like to record these tracks and hold them for these kind of special releases, or in the future, or do we are we going to get a live album? I'm saying this because one of your first live albums was recorded in Canada. I'm in Canada, so I would love to see you guys return to Canada and record a live album
Yeah.
here.
I would love that, but I must say this Canada show that we did at the time, it was incredibly special. It was it was a there was a there was an aura. It was incredible. The band performed at its best, and usually after you play so many shows, you get like you get used, and more or less the level is the same. Also the level of the energy, the level of the excitement, you know. But that evening, there was something more. It was like so many times better. Everything was better. The sound, the audience, the band, the energy, everything. So we were lucky that we were going to capture this, that we were capturing this show. And so it's usually it's the opposite. When you record a show, it's like, oh my God, so many mistakes, so many, you know. But this was incredible. So that's why live in Canada is so special. It's really special,
uh,
really special. So, you know, maybe it's the country to do
maybe
this
we're
again.
the right country for some live shows for you guys.
This for sure. This for sure. The audience were incredible, really.
Well,
I
Alex,
remember this. Yeah,
you still remember that performance, so it was memorable to you as well.
yeah. I remember vividly the stage, the audience, the rehearsing. The after show was absolutely incredible. After the show, it was like everybody was in the hall. There was thousands of people around. It was a mess. It was incredible, really. People very excited. But we are talking about what 2000 something.
Yeah, it feels like an eternity ago.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. Well, almost 20 years ago.
yeah, it's kind of an eternity.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, I want to thank you today for your time. But before I let you go, I want to not only wish you good luck with the upcoming album, but wish Italy good luck in the Euro. I believe they're playing right now as we speak. So I appreciate your taking time away from the TV to chat with me
Uh,
about Rhapsody of Fire.
no. My TV is closed during the day. I work all the time usually, and it seems 2 years that I'm working on this new album, and we just did the tour in the middle, and then when I came after the tour, that was okay. Also, we had to cancel a few shows. I came back home and started working and working and working. So for me, it's my life. It's the part of what I do. So there's no problem. It's after 2 years, I want to share. I want to share the work that I did, and the enthusiasm that I and the entire band has, and we are looking forward to play again and to play the new songs, and of course looking forward to release the new album. Now we have to wait a bit, but it's ready. It's been delivered. So
I think you guys handled this perfectly because, like I said before, this is the perfect appetizer, and it's an appetizer that comes with extra sauce, extra stuff in it because you threw a little bit more stuff in it. So, in terms of building the expectations and building the excitement for the upcoming album, I don't think you guys could have done a better job.
thank you. And it's not over yet because we are playing. There is a plan, So we'll be releasing more music on the way. So
Excited about that.
yeah, me too. Me too. Me too.
Well, Alex, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. All the best to you and
No,
everybody in the band.
welcome.
Thank you very much for taking the time. It really means a lot to me. So thank you, and all the best to you. And
My
even though your
privilege.
TV is turned off, all the best to Italy and the Euro Cup.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Take care.